Baghdadi said to the Americans, "See you in New York," which they thought, what is he talking about? Because of course they had no idea who he was.
This is the only moving picture that exists of him. Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi, the mysterious leader of the Islamic State.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
البغدادي ما ظهر غير مرة واحدة على العلن وبعد اختفى.
For his followers, he is the long-awaited successor to the Prophet. Al-Baghdadi, leader of a holy war in the caliphate with two faces.
Dat is een van de dingen ook die we ook zagen bij de Taliban in Afghanistan. Die hebben een telefoonnummer, die hebben een Twitter-account. Je kan ze bereiken.
Sinjar in northern Iraq has only recently been recaptured from IS. In the last year, the troops of IS caliph al-Baghdadi dug defense tunnels throughout the city, just as they have now done in Raqqa, the capital of the caliphate. There's no longer much left of the city itself. After a long struggle, Sinjar is one of the first major cities that IS has had to give up. After their retreat, the horrendous consequences of their reign of terror became clear. Mass open graves filled with bodies, the remains of anyone who did not share their beliefs. The terrorists of al-Baghdadi have expanded the battleground of the caliphate into Europe. Who is driving this war, and how should we respond to terror? Loretta Napoleoni is an expert in the field of terrorist organizations and author of the book The Return of the Caliphate.
Al-Baghdadi wants to be portrayed as the religious leader of this new nation. But unlike somebody like Khomeini, for example, he doesn't want to show his face all the time. On the contrary, he is clearly against the cult of the personality.
إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره.
Al-Baghdadi wants to be an invisible leader. For his followers, this only increases his appeal.
Baghdadi claims to be blood related to the Prophet, so he will be the bloodline of the Prophet. But this is something that many people say, so I doubt it.
But is it important for his followers?
Oh yes, of course. I think it's important for his legitimacy, of course. This will give him a tremendous legitimacy to people that believe it. I think it's part of the strategy. I think that the less you know about one of the icons, because he is an icon, the more you believe that this icon is exactly as you want it to be.
Al-Baghdadi has become one of the world's most prominent fundamentalist leaders, even bigger than bin Laden. Declaring a religious caliphate is seen as a tactical masterstroke, creating a country with a genuine capital, Raqqa, and capturing the imagination of followers worldwide.
The caliphate is the most important thing for al-Baghdadi and for anybody.
Why is it so exceptional?
For Al-Qaeda, the caliphate was the end of the road. So we will fight the faraway enemy, then we will move to the near enemy, and then we'll build the caliphate. Here, the caliphate is the beginning of the story. So the caliphate becomes a weapon for the jihad. We start from the caliphate, and then the caliphate will carry on the jihad.
This is Hani, born and raised in Raqqa. This summer, he fled from the capital of the caliphate. He could no longer stay in his hometown after IS took hold.
صبغ كل المدينة باللون الأسود بالإضافة أنه النساء صارت يعني عبارة عن كتل سوداء تمشي بالشارع، يعني لدرجة أنه أنا ممكن أشوف أحد زوجتي، أشوف والدتي ماشي بالشارع، أنا ما أعرف أنه هاي هي والدتي. جلد بالشوارع للنساء والرجال، حالات رجم للنساء، حالات رمي من بأبنية عالية لبعض الأحكام اللي حكموا الناس فيها.
Violence, it's always fundamental for terrorism. I mean, terrorism uses violence to terrorize people. The more scared you are, the more you think your enemy is strong.
It is not only in Raqqa that the lives of citizens are in danger. Even outside the Caliphate of al-Baghdadi, its opponents are being threatened. In Germany, where most of the Syrian refugees have sought refuge, we meet Ahmed, who has just escaped from Raqqa.
لما يصير الصلاة كل واحد لازم يكون بالجامعة، ولا إذا ما رحت على الجامعة بدك تتبهدل. كل الحكم يعني مثل ما هني بيفكروا لازم نحن بنفكر، وهذا الشيء نحن مستحيل فينا نساويه يعني.
Ahmed is of the same faith as IS, but he opposes their methods. When he was called upon to fight, he went into hiding. This earned him a death sentence, which was sent to his parents.
طبعا حكم الإعدام أنا موجود عندي وجايبه معي موجود بالتليفون. هم مكتوب إنه حكم علي أنا بما إنه أنا صرت كافر مرتد، كاتبين اسمي أنا من سكان الرقة، حكم علي بالقصاص.
If you want to survive in the caliphate, there is only one choice: join the jihad. Interestingly enough, the American invasion of Iraq fueled the idea of a holy war. Al-Baghdadi was captured by the Americans and held for 5 years at Camp Bakr, a hotbed of jihadists and the scene of regular violent riots.
In Camp Bakr, he was imprisoned together with some of the high-ranking former officers of Saddam Hussein army and intelligence.
So you made a lot of connections.
I suspect that in Camp Bakr there were endless discussions about what to do, how to structure this new state, of course when all would be free again. And I think during this process a decision was taken that al-Baghdadi was the perfect leader in terms of being a sort of icon. So he had the perfect, let's say, background to be presented as the new caliph.
Мы будем искать их везде, где бы они ни прятались. Мы их найдем в любой точке планеты и покараем.
Since the terror in Paris, Raqqa, the capital of the Caliphate, has been the main target of French and Russian bombs.
الو سلام.
سمعني انت؟
ايه تمام.
الناس مرعوبه من الطيران الروسي، الطيران الروسي تعرف بعد الغارات الاخيره هاي خاصه من ضربه الحسون، حتى الحسون عند الجامعه كان بيشتير وشهداء الناس خايفه شديد.
Hani is praying for the defeat of IS, but at the same time he is worried about his family and friends in Raqqa.
طبعا انا يعني اذا ايدت صعب واذا رفضت صعب، لانه انا بدي اي طريقه تخلصني من هذا المرض، انا ومجموعتي اللي اعمل معاها. اذا ايدت ممكن يصاب مدنيين في احد عمليات القصف، هذا الموضوع كثير صعب علينا لانه اللي خسرناه كبير وما لنا مستعدين نخسر كمان من اهلنا.
In the northern Iraqi town of Sinjar, some residents are daring to return to their homes, or what is left of them. But most are staying away because IS forces are still less than 2 kilometers away from the city. Precautionary roadblocks are being constructed everywhere. After Paris, IS has become the epitome of evil for many people. However, beyond the widespread fear, there are those trying to find solutions to the suffering. Dutchman Geoffrey Yonkers is involved in negotiations with the caliphate on behalf of a British aid organisation.
In het Westen is het beeld van IS vooral de organisatie die dood en verderf zaait. Kun je daarmee onderhandelen?
ISIS zijn moordenaars. Een is een gruwelijke organisatie en dat is ook altijd heel erg aanwezig in onze gedachten. Dit is een organisatie waar je niet mee moet willen praten. Dit zijn mensen waar je eigenlijk niet mee aan tafel moet willen zitten. Maar als je een verzoek krijgt van Syrische burgers die op dat moment vrezen voor het leven van één of vele van ze, zou het wel heel erg arrogant zijn om dan te zeggen: nee, wij kunnen niet praten met een terroristische organisatie. Dan moet je ook gewoon eerlijk zijn en zeggen: je moet die mensen helpen.
Thanks to the negotiations with IS, Yonkers recently succeeded in providing protection for a group of Christians. It also appears the caliphate has a pragmatic side.
Op een gegeven moment had IS besloten dat ze toch weg moesten. En die onderhandelingen hebben toegeleid dat ze er nu nog steeds zitten en dat ze ook hun landbouwproducten kunnen verkopen op de markt. Dus als er een gemeenschap is goed in het produceren van voedsel, dan is dat een pragmatische reden voor andere gemeenschappen, die misschien ISIS zijn, om te zeggen: laat ze maar blijven.
We hebben ze nodig.
We hebben ze nodig.
In the meantime, the bombing continues. It has been a while since anything has been heard from the caliph al-Baghdadi. Perhaps he is dead. Nobody knows. Maybe it doesn't matter.
Merkt u bij uw onderhandelingen dat al-Baghdadi, de grote leider, ook een rol speelt in het dagelijks leven?
Nee, mensen hebben het niet echt over hem. En zeker mensen die niet in Raqqa wonen, maar gewoon wat verder in de normale Syrische steden en dorpen. Hij is voor hun geen leider. Hij is niet iemand waar ze iets mee hebben. Er is geen band daarmee.
Please take your luggage out.
It's an awkward situation for all of us. What we're going to do now is the one bag's already off. The second bag's going to be...
IS wants death and destruction, but also to sow fear, and they seem to be succeeding. This plane is forced to abandon takeoff because of 2 passengers behaving suspiciously. It is eventually declared a false alarm, but the incident is a small example of the fear that reigns here.
Ook waarschijnlijk de komende weken ziet IS als een grote moloch, als één groot onvoorspelbaar blok.
En die moet je plat bombarderen. En dat is levensgevaarlijk, zegt u.
En dat is levensgevaarlijk, omdat het geen zin heeft. Een ideologie kun je niet bombarderen. En als je probeert een ideologie te bombarderen, is het allergrootste risico en het meest waarschijnlijke risico dat je die ideologie versterkt.
Even if we kill al-Baghdadi, there'll be a new caliph. Al-Baghdadi is not the nation. Al-Baghdadi is the icon of the nation. These are symbols.
There will be new symbols.
There'll be new symbols. There'll be somebody, there'll be the new caliph.
New al-Baghdadis.
Exactly.